You know, before you come to prison, you don't know what you made. And I came in here and I met, oh God, my life has been enriched by the people I've met here.
Du hører på Røverradioen, norsk fengselsradio.
Velkommen til en spesiell utgave av Røverradioen, norsk fengselsradio. Jeg heter Lukako, og i dag har vi noe så uvanlig som en politisk fange på besøk hos oss. Pizarro, hva skjer i dagens sending?
Yes, bror. I dag i Oslo fengsel så sitter det en kar. Mange av oss innsatte, vi kaller ham for generalen. Han er øverste kommanderende for en organisasjon som heter Ambassador Governing Council. Dette er en av flere separatistgrupper i Kamerun som ønsker selvstendighet for en del av landet som de kaller Ambazonia.
Ok. Kamerun, jeg er jo fra Afrika, så jeg kjenner igjen Kamerun og hvor det ligger. Kamerun styres av verdens eldste president, 92 år gamle Paul Biya. Mange mener at han i praksis styrer som en diktator, og han har vært landets mektigste siden begynnelsen av 80-tallet. Og jeg tror at han har vært statsminister siden 1975.
Det er lenge siden, altså, bro. Så han har hatt toppstilling, han har vært patron der i alle år.
Afrika, vet du.
50 pluss, Greit. Gjesten vår har vært i eksil fra Kamerun siden midten av 90-tallet. Etter først å ha bodd i en periode i Tyskland, så bestemte han seg for å komme til Norge, og har vært her de siste 7 årene. Og da tenker jeg at vi tar det intervjuet på engelsk, for det er nok litt lettere for vår gjest.
Men hvorfor er han egentlig fengslet?
Jo, bror, han ble fengslet i september i fjor, sikta for brudd på straffeloven, paragraf 108, det vil si oppfordring til forbrytelse mot menneskeheten.
Ja, det er jo en tiltale av en helt annen art, da.
Det er helt riktig. Så nå skal vi ønske vår gjest velkommen, og så skal vi få vite litt mer om hvem han er, hvorfor han sitter i Oslo fengsel. Welcome, Dr. Cho Ayaba, to Røverradioen.
Thank you very much.
You are held here in Oslo prison, in detention for almost a year now, right?
Absolutely.
Yes, on charges of inciting to crime against humanity. What does that really mean? Can you describe it in your own words?
They have accused me of making speeches and making publications on Twitter and Facebook that have caused our forces fighting against Cameroon to attack civilians in Amazonia. Crimes against humanity are a series of crimes. They could constitute maybe torture, they could constitute rape, they could constitute attacking...
a lot of different crimes.
And so my speeches, what I write on my Twitter account, the police said it has resulted in people committing some of these crimes.
Some of these crimes?
Yes.
Yeah.
I could be in prison maybe 15 years or any time longer. But the charges are fake.
You plead not guilty, right?
Yes, of course. I'm not guilty because there are no crimes. There are no crimes against humanity. There is no incitement to commit crimes against humanity. We have conducted ourselves respecting the Geneva Conventions and international humanitarian law. My arrest is a political conspiracy.
What kind of responsibility do you have for violations committed by your organization?
As a leader, I take full responsibility, and I have said that. I take full responsibility. That is why when Cameroon declared war on us, the first thing we did was to produce a code of conduct.
Can you explain a little bit?
A code of conduct is like how our soldiers should conduct themselves,
okay.
Respecting human rights, make sure no one is subjected to torture. We are very clear that rape is a crime which we will not tolerate. we are very clear about the protection of our civilians. But this is war. And as I said to the police, and I say it publicly, under my leadership for 8 years, you've not had more than 30 civilians who have been killed. You don't have that. And so I take full responsibility for what I say. And I think the police has misunderstood because they have not taken my speeches into context. I make my speeches to strengthen the faith of our people, not to give up.
Exactly. You want to train your people.
To strengthen our people. So when you listen to my speech today, you might like, oh, that's really strong. But if you will listen to my speech during World War II, you will say, wow, this is inspiring. Yeah. So for a Norwegian listening to my speech today in peacetime, they may feel like, well, it's really strong. But if Norway is attacked today and I make that same speech,
they will feel otherwise.
So that's the misconception that they have about my speeches or my Twitter messages.
Some say that conflict revolves around language, French versus English. What do you think about that?
No, it's not about language. It's about existence. Cameroon has never recognized us as human beings. Cameroon has never recognized our humanity. The question in Ambazonia and Cameroon has nothing to do with language. It has something to do with another country invading our country in 1961. We were the first democracy in Africa. We were the first country in Africa that organized a free and fair elections. Ambazonia, between 1954 and 1960, we got in 3 prime ministers. Cameroon came in, invaded our country, dismantled our parliament, dismantled our government, and then dismantled our economic system, trying to make us slaves in our country, in our own home, and still does not give us respect, bullies us, call us les ennemis dans la maison, enemies of the house, call us 2 cubes of sugar that they can dissolve.
Okay, if we look at some of the things you said, it seems you really intend to kill, or what is your story?
No. They are standard international practice. Those who collaborate with the enemies are considered enemies of freedom. It happened here in Norway in the 40s. Those who collaborated with the Nazis were seen as enemies of Norway.
Yeah.
Even women who slept with German soldiers were described as Tisketos. That's German bitches.
Yes.
And their hairs were shaved. We have said, we are going to arrest you.
Yeah, right.
And we are very clear about that. We have 20,000 Amazonians have been killed, and the majority of them were killed because you have spies and traitors who work with Cameroon forces. More than 1,000 villages were burnt because these spies, they embed in Cameroon with Cameroon soldiers, go to the villages, show them the places, they burn it down. The greatest threat to our freedom, to our security, are the spies and collaborators who have enabled this regime to be in power for 56 years. And we are very clear we've been betrayed by the international community. And we are determined this time to end this regime and give our people hope and freedom. And let me also state, the facts are important. When they write all of this nonsense as charges, Cameroon has killed more than 20,000 civilians. Under my leadership in the past 8 years, you don't have more than 30 civilians casualties. We have a code of conduct on how our forces should behave. They have to protect our civilian population. No torture, no rape. We have also made it very clear in our manifesto, all of us, including myself, after independence, we are going to establish a post-conflict justice system that will involve restorative justice and retributive justice to hold everybody accountable for what you did during the Liberation War.
Du hører på Røverradioen.
To understand this, all of this more, I think we must know more about you, Mr. Cho. Could you please tell us about your childhood and youth in Cameroon?
I'm the last child in our family, and my father was in the British Army during the Second World War. My father died when I was 11. He was a wonderful guy. I knew my dad not being able to walk because he had a chronic back pain after the war. Yes. I was always like massaging the back. And my father fought to ensure that Hitler did not conquer Europe and conquer the world. And this is one of the things that makes me sometimes very disappointed with Norway. Because during because during World War II, while my father was fighting with the British, the Norwegian government was in London. Without my father and others who fought, we don't know, maybe Hitler would have prevailed. All through history, you find a situation where the people who are being victimized are granted some level of protection. You found South Africa took Israel to the International Court of Justice.
Yeah.
You found the Gambia took Myanmar, the International Court of Justice, with all the crimes that Cameroon has committed against our people, even against its own people. Norway does not have the courage to refer Cameroon to the ICC. My family paid the price. I grew up being a rebel against injustice from very young. I've been fighting for more than 37 years. And so that has been my life. My life has been fighting against all forms of injustices. I am fighting against the longest serving president in Africa, who's been in power for close to 56 years, first as prime minister and then as president.
Yeah. Tell me a little bit about, because that's a very long time. How can a man be in power for such a long time?
Because he has been supported by the West, he has been supported by France and others. And he has used enormous violence in the past 56 years to make sure that nobody can speak. Those who spoke went to jail. Those who went on the street as students were killed, or you were sent into exile.
But how did you come to leave Amazonia?
After I was dismissed from the university, we created the Southern Cameroon's Youth League to fight for our independence.
Yeah, because you were expelled.
I was not only expelled, I was one of the most wanted persons for over 1 year. I was living from house to house, hiding from the military.
Like a criminal?
Of course, because the Cameroon government had killed more than 60 of our members. It had arrested more than 300. So we spent 30 days on a ship.
30 days?
Yes.
In a ship?
On a ship.
That you weren't supposed to be?
Yes.
So where did you hide?
Oh, God. The ship was carrying timber. Thousands. And we were inside. That is why sometimes when I listen to like the waves, I still have trauma. Because we were inside the ship. The only sound you were hearing was the wave banging the ship. Total darkness. We didn't have food anymore. So we knew that if we get out, we may be thrown into the sea. So we made a decision. One person should stay in, 2 persons go out. If the 2 persons are killed, then the other person may survive and let our families know.
Just making that decision, just in that moment, how was it?
Yes, making that decision. Thank God I was in the ship with my best friend, who is my defense chief now. He's in Minnesota. The other guy is a Cameroonian, who is the one who organized the ship stuff. He said he would stay in and better die of hunger than be thrown into the sea. And I and my best friend Benedict, we said, okay, let's go out and face the music. And we went out, and the captain, the superintendent came and they were yelling and yelling. And I explained to them we were running away from dictatorship. And they took us and gave us a place where they packed some stuff to sleep there. We were sitting there at night. We just said, well, maybe they come and open the door and drop us into the sea. They knocked the door at about 1 o'clock. I looked at Benedict, he looked at me. Look, we have been prepared all our lives. Dead or alive, we wanted to be free. He looked at me, I looked at him. And we said, the hour of reckoning has come. They opened the door and they were smiling. Come, come, come. And we were like, what the hell is going on? Mm-hmm. They had, that our friend who was inside, he had come out to try to see if he could find food. That's how they arrested him. So they brought him with us and we were like, come on, you're crazy. How could you what if all of us are killed?
Yeah.
But luckily, after a few days, the ship anchored. They told us that the ship was going to Germany and Mexico. Okay. So we could make a choice. We were just too tired. We said, okay, drop us in Germany. Mm. That's how we ended up in Germany.
Shit. Yeah. Jeg lukker ikke for en historie. Wow. Tenk deg hvordan det å bare... De tror faktisk de skal dø nå. Noen banker på døren. Jeg tenker, ok, greit. De skal dø. De skal dø. Could we ask you, how did you get from Germany to Norway?
And this is one of this is one of the fantasies. We have always looked at, when we do a struggle like this, we look at every different countries, their model, whether in education, their governance, management of their economic resources. And we've always looked at the Norwegian model. I came to Norway also because in 1961, Norway voted. There were 61 countries that voted for Ambazonians' independence, and Norway voted for our independence. You look at Norway's history. Norway was under Denmark. It didn't stay there. It was under Sweden. It didn't stay there. Norway is one of the countries that has voted twice to stay out of the European Union. So Norway has preserved its own independence. So it has been a model, the way it manages the Norwegian fund. Ambazonia is rich in oil. And we have looked at the way Norway has managed its oil funds. And we think we will replicate this model to manage our oil funds to be able to make sure that our people are empowered.
Even from exile, you managed to lead a fight in a country 8,000 kilometer away. How did you become the leader of your organization?
That question is very difficult. Maybe the gift of my character, my conviction, and my ability to communicate the pain of our people, make our people to trust me. It's that same gift that is being used against me. Mm. I am an elected leader. I was elected 2013 as the president of the Ambazonian Governing Council. My mandate ended in February, and I was supposed to get out. But I received a letter from my organization that because I'm in prison, they will not do the election.
Exactly.
Ambazonians trust me because you cannot...
They have faith in you.
They have faith in me. You cannot corrupt me. You cannot bribe me. Even if you put me here for 20 years, I'm not going to change. Africa, not only Ambazonia, Africa has to change. We must stop depending on Europe or China or America. With all what we have, we are slaves, everybody. We are living in fear. You just look at me as a black man. You don't look at whether I have a PhD. That does not matter. Where you come from can give you respect or disrespect.
Exactly.
Okay? If they hear him, he comes from Somalia, what do they think? Chaos, war. He comes from Ambazonia. What do they think? Chaos, war. You may stand there, you come. Wow, freedom, peace, justice. We must change our destiny. We must change the destiny of our people.
So, Dr. Cho, why choose fighting with weapons instead of political activism and other non-violent methods?
That's how we started. In the past, I've been on the street since 1989.
Yeah, because you were earlier telling us about the school, the universities.
Yes.
in Ambazonia.
We have never chose to fight with weapons. We have been on the street since 1989, fighting for freedom of assembly, freedom of speech. We were on the street. As Ambazonians, we never had any university in English. So if you finish Amazonia, Amazonia has war.
No.
2000. You cannot send people who speak French into our schools. You cannot send judges who speak the French into our courts. The teachers were arrested. The head of the teachers union has been in prison for 7 years. The lawyers are in jail. Professors are in jail. This is a European Union report. This is it. Of April.
What does it say?
The persecution of journalists in Cameroon. These are Ambazonians who are in jail for 7 years. This one, BBC Mancho, he took a coffin and went on the street. Give me freedom or give me death. He's been in prison for 8 years.
8 years.
8 years. Now,
It's unbelievable.
after that, the government brought helicopters, guns, and we decided that we will have to defend ourselves. In the face of this level of brutality with a fascist government that does not understand dialogue, negotiation, compromise, or coexistence, we'll have to defend our people. That is how we invoked the right under the United Nations Charter, the right under the African Charter of Human and People's Rights in its Article 20, paragraph 1 to 4, the right to defend ourselves for our existence and self-preservation.
Du hører på Røverradioen.
How do you regard the pain you and your comrades cause civilians caught in crossfire?
We don't cause pain to our civilians. Even before this phase of our struggle, our people have been living in pain and misery under Cameroon's occupation. The pain and misery in Ambazonia is caused by Cameroon's occupation, its brutality, torture, and the massive killing of our people. We are defenders, we are victims of the system of occupation. And as I said to you people, it doesn't mean that our soldiers don't do certain things that are unacceptable, but they are very small. After independence, we will hold everybody accountable. There will be accountability. Listen, there are so many things that are very painful, but you find a way to suppress the emotions, the pain, because so many people are buried. I have buried more than 500 soldiers, so many civilians. And we have 3,000 Ambazonians in prison in Cameroon who have been there for 8-9 years. And so when I look at myself being here for 9 months, I cannot complain. When I compare what our people have gone through, I cannot complain, honestly. So when I think that Norway will betray me, the same Norway that was in negotiations in Canada when Cameroon asked to negotiate, the same Norway that invited our defense forces here in Oslo for a meeting with the UN and Cameroon forces, and then turn around a few months later, you come and pick me up from my house and you're showing me internet messages. When a criminal, a fascist who came to power when Anna Solberg was 7 years, Jens Stoltenberg was 9 years, Storo was 8 years, he's been in power for 56 years.
56
you don't have the courage to take him up to the International Criminal Court
and do something about
and
it.
do something. You come and arrest the one man standing against him. When somebody threatens Europe, that person is a fascist. Everybody must stand against that person. When somebody threatens us down there in Africa, it's their friend. They embrace him. This is the hypocrisy that is threatening the world.
So your activism got you in jail. Looking back, do you have any regrets? If you could start over, would you choose to do something differently?
Very good question, Lukaku.
No, that's a good question. No, I don't have any regret.
I don't think you can have regrets, right? In this kind of moments, or
no, I don't have regrets. You know, last Sottenamai, since I came to Norway, I've attended every Sottenamai.
okay.
There was a lady who made a speech in Sottenamai in Hobol, and she said to everybody, she said, you see, we take our freedom for granted. When you sit in Norway, you can go and vote, and your vote counts. You can speak and go home safely. There is democracy, and we take it for granted that across the world, many people don't have this opportunity. Living here in Norway, being out here, and looking at what I left behind, the only regret I may have is that I did not fight harder.
So you would say that you only regret.
The only regret is that I have not fought hard enough.
Yeah, I understand.
Very good ask.
Yeah.
Very good.
You know, before you come to prison, you don't know what you made.
Yes.
And I came in here and I met, oh God, my life has been enriched by the people I've met here. Yes, we've played football, we have laughed,
Yeah.
you've just seen wonderful people with whom, you know, you can go through this pain and still have a smile. And so
Yes.
I'm so happy also to have met you guys,
Thank you a
my
lot,
football mates.
Thank you a lot.
Thank you, General. Thank
And
you very much.
to you also for giving me the chance.
Med det avrunder vi Røverradioen for i dag. Her fra Oslo fengsel. Mitt navn er Pizarro.
Lukaku,
Peace out.
peace out.
Dr. Cho Ayaba sitter i varetekt i Oslo fengsel, siktet for brudd på straffelovens paragraf 108, oppfordring til forbrytelse mot menneskeheten. Han mener selv at siktelsen er feil, og at han i realiteten er fengslet for å bruke ytringsfriheten, med andre ord at han er en politisk fange. Røverradioen har derfor bedt om en kommentar fra Amnesty International, der politisk rådgiver Gerald Folkvord har dette å si. Amnesty International har ingen kommentar til selve tiltalen, men det er dokumentert omfattende menneskerettighetsbrudd fra myndighetene i Kamerun. Amnesty har også funnet dokumentasjon på brutale overgrep mot sivilbefolkningen fra forskjellige væpnede grupper, inkludert Ambazonia Governing Council og de tilknyttede Ambazonia Defense Force. Fordi det er Kripos som har fått han fengslet, har vi bedt dem også om en kommentar, der politiadvokat Annette Berger skriver: Vi kan bekrefte at denne personen er siktet for oppfordring til forbrytelse mot menneskeheten, og at Kripos fortsatt etterforsker saken. Utover det kommenterer vi ikke detaljer i pågående etterforskninger.
Hail this land of glory, we the Amazonians, special loyalty. Presence to our Savior who granted us the freedom. Our legends to the heroes who fought along the gather. When we to glory, we rise and never to fall. Here in a nation, flowing rivers of holy. Glory, glory, glory to the Father for making you a nation, a joy forevermore. Ambazonia, land of freedom, you shall live in plenty, meet in our need. And your children shall be like the stars above. The Most High God being the watchman of this nation. Ambazonia, land of freedom, you shall live in plenty, meet in our need. And your children shall be like the stars above. The Most High God being the watchman of this nation.